it's turned into like legit. It's funny. I thought about it before I saw it, but like Dave Portnoy over them are like, it's like saying the N-word now. Like you can't even say
I
like
was just
horns
about to
down.
say.
Like it's like saying like a racial slur now. It's getting ridiculous. And I'm like, yo, facts. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
It is. They get so butthurt over it.
And I have examples of like, please get the fuck out of here,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
please. We start with Chiefs Ravens.
Oh
Online
yeah,
with that Taylor Swift jump into Lions, horns down, get out of here.
yeah. Sounds good.
Good to go. It sound good.
Yeah, all good. All all good.
You see today I
Gotta give it.
uploaded the gym workout, gym vlog.
Yeah, I actually just saw it like right before we jumped
Yeah.
on. I gotta check it out.
My little brother, he's so fucking weak now. It's hilarious.
Oh, why? Has he been out for a little while?
Boy, he like, yeah, all he does is drink all day and like not do
Uh,
shit. So like, and mind you, he was like the star athlete of the family. Like, well, he was just always cut up and like in the best shape. But like he just like he's so weak and stuff now. And I was like, I love it, bro. Like you lost the
yeah,
touch. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. And then my other
Getting
brother
him right
legit,
though.
yeah, we got right. Yeah, he was dying now. He was dying. And then my other
Good.
brother, he calls me today, and like my mom's like, he has to tell you something. I'm like, what happened, bro? And he's like, oh, I got a tat. I'm like, oh, cool, that's what's up. Like, finally got tatted. He went to like the convention. My mom's like, show him. He's like, I don't want to show you. I'm like, let me see. He's like, it's small. I'm like, okay, let me see. I thought it was on his like shoulder or something. This motherfucker got like a dagger on his neck, and I was like, all right, well, you'll never work again. Like you better hope you make it as a fucking chef, you idiot. I was so pissed, bro. I was so pissed.
Why there?
As your first tattoo is crazy. like, like
Yeah,
he wants to be
yeah,
a chef. He wants to be a chef. So I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're a chef. And honestly, it doesn't matter
yeah. No.
today's times, but it also does, like low key. But I'm like, bro, you have a fucking like, it's like it's either a cross or I couldn't really tell. I think it's a cross, like, but behind the ear, but it's like
Yeah,
long. You can see it, obviously. I was like, bro, I always like if I made $1,000,000, I would tap my whole body up. Like I wouldn't worry about shit. But I'm like, I have a
yeah,
job, but I can't like fucking walk
yeah.
around
Exactly.
neck tat.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a
The neck can
dickhead,
be
bro.
tough. Neck can be tough.
Yeah. Behind the ear, you can get away with
Yeah,
behind the head, but like a neck tat, like right here, is just
yeah.
bonkers, bro. Miles would be the
Well,
kissy lips.
yeah, exactly.
Jesus. Um. All right, let's get right into it, baby. Welcome to another episode of Trust Sports. Super Bowl 2 weeks away. We finally
Mm,
made it. I mean, we're not football fans anymore, but
right.
it's still some
We've given up
exciting
on
ball
that.
to have. Yeah, what's good, my guy? How you feeling?
What's good, man? Yeah, it was interesting. Interesting weekend of football. We got a lot to talk about. Like you said, though, we've been on our Sixers grind anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was cool to watch the game though. I forgot what football could be like.
Yeah, right. It's funny how Vaughn hasn't been talking shit. He went ghost. He's back to posting simply clean now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
back to he hasn't hit us up to come on the podcast now. Like
Mm-mm.
now people start disappearing when his teams start losing. I wonder what
Even
that's
during the
about.
game,
Yeah, he
he
was
was
quiet.
disappearing quickly.
Yep.
Quickly. I thought his phone
Yep.
was broken.
Yeah. I see like him and Tone, man. You want to hold us accountable. Don't text me if I can't hold you accountable in the moment. But we got to talk about that Chiefs Ravens game. Liam, I
Mm.
think you summed it up last week perfectly. You can never bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Everyone was so
Yep.
cocky about the Ravens going into this. I think I picked the Chiefs. We gotta go back and look at our predictions, see what it was.
Yeah.
I think I picked the Chiefs to go
I
regardless over the
think
Ravens.
I think we had last week at least. I know we were each like, yeah, you know what? Ravens are the better team. They'll probably win, but it's Patrick
But
Mahomes. And it's
yeah,
literally, bro, like he's incredible. He's
yeah.
incredible.
I think so. So we got to start. I think that weekend alone showed us 2 for 2. That was 2 for 2. I mean 2 for 2 in the choking department,
Yeah.
and this was a choke by the Baltimore Ravens.
Mhm.
And no way should. Oh, I also gotta say that it's hilarious to see Tony, the quarterback. I mean the wide receiver for the Chiefs,
I know.
tweeting like, "I'm not hurt, bitch. We don't give a fuck."
Yeah,
Like,
everybody knows, by the way, bro. Like everyone knows you're not hurt. You're just ass. Like the
yeah,
Chiefs are putting something out there to try to help you out. We know you're not playing because you're fucking
yes.
trash.
Just stay quiet, bro. He's like, I'm not fucking hurt. We know, like everyone's in on this. Like it's like one of those things. Like you're the only one who doesn't know you're not in on this, bro. Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
in on this. Like we understand this. But it
Uh,
was amazing to see that out today's Brady going into this game. You started to say he is getting the hate now. He's hit that level
Yeah.
of goatness where he's getting that hate. And it definitely is a lot of Taylor that has to deal with this, right? But also, this is the first time you're seeing like everyone's like, I'm tired of seeing the Patriots. I mean, damn, look, you see, that was the thing all the time growing up. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing the Patriots. I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs. Like, I want someone else in this. But let's start with what our key takeaways. I say my biggest key takeaway from this game is Travis Kelce has stepped up and become unbelievable. He is the Hall of Fame guy. I mean, having the year he had and just turning a switch. I mean, I was in the gym. Like I watched like the beginning games in the gym, and I get home and I'm watching on my phone. I screamed out loud on that like third and whatever down when Travis Kelce made a diving catch. I had no idea how he made that fucking as a tight end. I screamed out loud. I was like, "Oh shit!" And like, I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Like, and some guy looked at me. I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm sorry." Like Travis Kelce, he's like, "Yeah, I know," and I'm behind. So like it already happened. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, holy shit! So it's just amazing to see how Travis Kelce, like the two Hall of Fame guys, just turn on. It's that Brady and Gronk. It's that now it's there, man. It's so crazy to see.
It's inevitable. I mean,
Yeah.
all year long, like all you saw with the Chiefs, all anybody talked about was, oh man, like I guess it's finally catching up to him. Travis looks old and slow. Like Mahomes doesn't have it. The receivers stink, and here we are, and they're back in the Super Bowl. And
Isn't
I
that
think
what we said about the Patriots all the time?
exactly. They
Yeah.
just like it's rotating too. Like someone brought up the
Yeah.
point of like Tyreek Hill. Like other than Travis, their biggest weapon on the entire team. They just let him go. Doesn't matter. Won a Super Bowl since. Now they're back in it. Their defense, they've completely changed it to where now it's not getting enough credit. I mean, that defense is incredible. And again, it's just like doesn't matter who's here. If it's Mahomes, if it's Andy Reid, if it's Travis Kelce, we're gonna find a way to win. And it's absolutely inevitable with those two. But to be honest with you, Malik, my biggest takeaway from this game was on the
Oh, I'm
other
sorry.
side
That
of the
wasn't
ball.
my biggest takeaway.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just go for the Chiefs. Let's
Yeah.
move to Ravens. Go ahead now.
For the Chiefs, I
Yeah.
honestly for the Chiefs, it's like what you just said.
Yeah.
These are what great players do. Like
Facts.
it almost felt like the regular season was just the Chiefs biding their time, and then they played in negative 30-degree weather against the Dolphins, crushed them. Went to Buffalo, beat them. Went to Baltimore, beat them a different way than they beat Buffalo. Like the defense stood up, and Mahomes did enough. Like Mahomes, bro, was like 13 of 14 to start the game.
Yeah.
Like he missed one pass, and Kelce finished with what 11 or 12 catches for like $128 and a touchdown. It's like you can't. It is like that switch that they just decide to flip whenever they want, and it's unbelievable.
So then let's move on. Go ahead. Your key takeaways from the Ravens sideline.
My key takeaway, and Malik, this is one of my favorite phrases I've ever heard, and it's used in sports a lot, but can be used in everyday life. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. We've seen enough of Lamar Jackson right now in his career to where he's shown us enough. We need to believe who he is. He is an incredible regular season quarterback. He does a lot that I don't really think anyone else in the league can do at a specific time from weeks 1 to week 18. But when the playoff lights come and when the lights are the brightest, he folds. And I have some stats for you. I'm going to bring it with the stats, including this past Sunday's game. Lamar's now 2-4 in the postseason. 9 total touchdowns, 9 total turnovers, passer rating of 76. In playoff games that he plays in, the Ravens are averaging 16 points. 3 of those 4 losses are home. One of the 2 wins were on the road during the COVID year when there were no fans. Look, Lamar, we talked about this with Vaughn. Like we were poking fun at him. He'll win his second MVP. There's a reason for that. He's exciting as hell. But we came into this postseason, you and I, and we said, look, Lamar's got the microscope on him. Out of all the quarterbacks that entered this postseason, you can look at Dak, you can look at Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy. Lamar was probably number one at who had the most to prove because this was the Ravens team to do it.
Yeah.
And if he were to go out there and did what you and I talked about with the Bills last week, we've been on Josh Allen's ass. But you and I both came on here and like, look, man, credit where credit is due. He did everything he could. He just got beat by a top 2 player of all time.
Yeah.
If Lamar were to do that, I would do the same exact thing for him. I'd say, you know what? Lamar balled out. Mahomes was better.
Yeah.
You could make the argument Lamar was one of the worst players on the field on Sunday.
Yeah. And not just Lamar though. That's one of my other key takeaways. Like when you look at those stat lines, it almost sounds like Dak, right? It sounds just like Dak in the playoffs. Like that's exact. It's like key for key, right? But of course, you can't compare the two because you could say Lamar is way like when it comes to athletic ability, as a quarterback, who do you trust? Like it's
Mhm.
you're going to pick Lamar over Dak, right? But when it comes to playoff times, it's like this. It's a flip of a coin.
It
But
is.
you have more trust in Lamar, of course, for what he still has some time to show you. I don't think now this is the only thing I disagree with you on is that I don't think this is Lamar Jackson saying this is not this is what Lamar Jackson does in the playoffs, and this is what it's always going to be for Lamar. I don't think you could say that. The
Maybe
biggest
not always. Maybe not always, but right now, like the biggest word
I
you just
guess
said there was like trust. Like, who do you trust more, Dak or Lamar in the postseason? I think right now, that's a lot closer of an argument than it
for
was
sure,
coming into this postseason.
for
And
sure,
it's plays like that interception in triple coverage, the
yeah.
fumble earlier in the game, like
Mhm,
missing guys.
mhm.
It was all bad. But you're right. He could change it around. But right now,
Yeah, I hear you. I think it's a microcosm as well. When I look at that game, when I see throwing it into triple coverage, I see you're forcing it at this point. You have like it just was a blatant. He's forcing some shit. He's trying to create something. He's trying to do something. I think it's a microcosm of he dropped back 82% of the plays. That
yeah,
right there is the biggest issue. When you see the stat line say 82% of plays Lamar dropped back, like you said, give that Chiefs defense some fucking credit in that game. The Chiefs defense kept them in that fucking game. In the beginning, like Patrick Mahomes and them weren't blowing them out the water. But I was texting the group chat, I said, right to Javon, you better hope that bomb was not a fluke. I've always said this. I
exactly.
said,
Yep.
when you
Yep.
see a team drive down the field in comparison to, and they answer back, and the team answers back with a bomb, let me see what you can do in your next series. If I see the next series you can't move the ball at all, game over. This is how it's going to be for the rest of the night. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what the fuck happened. Lamar was not able to do anything out of pocket. He had nowhere to go. His wide receivers were double covered. And why did they keep calling? This only call to me, this falls back on the play calling.
I
You
know exactly
call
what you're gonna say.
drop back Lamar Jackson and let your fucking wide receivers and your fucking tight end run downfield.
Yep.
This is one time you say, call a fucking screen, run the fucking ball, run curl routes, and run fucking and digs. Like, just do that
Yep.
and move the ball. Let the field open up. They knew right away they were going for a long shot so early. That was a coordinator.
Yeah.
Panicked. He panicked soon as he got the ball. He started handing the ball off. You need to run to go. The run wasn't hurting. The run, they were able to run the ball.
No.
They just stopped, panicked, and put it all in Lamar's hands. Lamar said the best thing going into the season. That's why I said they might win this game. Lamar said, I don't have to be Superman. I don't have to do everything. All in the past, I've learned that. Well, that offensive coordinator said, Lamar, that's all on you, buddy. I don't know what the fuck else to do. I have to trust that you're Lamar Jackson. You could do something here. That's not what it does, and
Yeah.
that's why he lost that game. 82% dropbacks. Like, that's why you lose, bro.
Yeah. I think their running backs had like 6 carries. And I could be wrong. That could be their running backs, including Zay Flowers, who I know had 2 like sweet plays. But you're right. And there was a point in the game, I might have been second or third quarter, and it was in a span of 5 plays. The Ravens ran twice where they just sent Odell on a seam route, and Lamar overthrew him by like 15 yards both
Yeah.
times. Like you could tell he was just saying fucking throwing up there. And this was a game that was close. Like 10 points is not a lot. It was 17-7 for what felt like forever.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. Like why you're abandoning the run, to your point, is absolutely ridiculous. And another big takeaway I had from this game, and this is going to come with time. Like this will come with maturity. And we'll talk about this with the Niners. But I saw multiple different players on that Ravens sideline show me they were done. They were out of the game.
Mhm.
Zay Flowers, I totally understand it. It's the biggest game of your life. They never reach out in the goal line. That mistake happens. Fine. You got the ball back. You had a chance still to win that game. Like that game wasn't over at that point, realistically, but he was done. They said he like fucking banged up his finger, smashing his helmet on the sideline. He's done.
Yeah.
It was, who was it? Patrick Queen, the linebacker, when the Chiefs got the ball back in the fourth quarter, 1st and 5 after maybe a holding penalty on the
Oh,
Ravens.
yeah.
And he literally just crushes the guard, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
Chiefs are moving the ball now. And even Lamar, like when he threw the interception in triple coverage, look, that's bad, man. But you're slamming your helmet on the sideline. Like you're done. They took you completely out of the game mentally.
Facts.
And again, we'll talk about the Niners. Like just look at how they handled it, because it was the exact situation, except the Niners had it worse. But you saw the Niners were just like controlled. They were, look, let's go through this drive by drive. Your defense was doing the same thing. They were holding them drive by drive. It's hard to keep Patrick Mahomes up to only 17 points.
Yeah.
And you still had a chance to win that game. And this is, you said it to begin this. This was a choke by the Ravens, because this was the team to go and win a Super Bowl. And their defense, I think, did all they could to win that game. And the offense as a whole completely let them down.
You hold Patrick Mahomes to what, 17 for so long? Like, it's like you're playing your ass off. And if I'm a linebacker, I'm frustrated too. I'm just wailing off of somebody as well. And I get it. Like when he just did that, he's like, fuck it. We're already losing this
Yeah,
game.
you can
I'm
tell.
fucking creaming someone. Like I get that 100%. Like 100% get that frustration. But it's just it's unbelievable to see a team go out that way, and it shows you leadership and it shows you maturity as well. It shows you
Mhm.
composure from the Kansas City sideline and be like, we'll take it little
Yeah.
by little. Don't worry, we'll
Yep.
take whatever you give me. I'll take these little dumb. I mean, Travis Kelce, I don't know how in zone coverage he just found the holes. It was just wide open the whole fucking game.
It's what he does.
Yeah, just wide. He's so smart. He just is wide open all the time. So that to me was another like point of like they can't stop him at all. I mean, they stopped the run game. Patrick Mahomes did nothing that was like he maybe had one or two plays,
Mm-mm.
but Patrick Mahomes took what they gave him. That's the
Yeah.
smartness in him. That's the genius in him. Be like, I'll take what you give me. We'll march down the field and we'll take it. I mean, like I said, like, and Dan Campbell said it too. Next year, I don't know if we'll ever be here again, and next year it's gonna be even harder on us, but we'll be ready. Ravens, next year it's gonna be even harder on you guys. You guys might get to the point where you get more frustrated. You get frustrated losing games during the season to where you're out of the playoffs early on than what you think.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get back here. You still got to go against Patrick Mahomes and a Joe Burrow who's coming back.
Exactly.
Like, that's what we said earlier. This is the year. Get it done now. This is the fucking year.
Yeah. And CJ Stroud's only going to get better.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And the Bills, like, we don't know what's going to happen. But
Yeah.
look, I'm not fully confident they're watching that Ravens game. If the Bills went in there, I would think they would put up a fight too.
Yeah.
And I think we're almost numb to it. Like what Dan Campbell said, everyone's like, oh, wow, like I can't believe he said it. No, he's 100% right.
He's a
We're
player.
almost numb to it. Like we grew up watching Tom Brady and the Patriots where their season didn't start until the AFC Championship game.
No.
Like even the Niners now, like they've made what, 3 Super Bowls in the past however many years. And now what the Chiefs are doing is just like it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like again,
People are
just look
spoiled.
at the Eagles who shot out of a cannon out of nowhere, young quarterback, like they're going to build something. They made a Super Bowl, just lost. The team completely disappeared.
Yeah.
Like the Seahawks days back with Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, Legion of Boom, made 2 Super Bowls. This is going to be a dynasty. Blew up in a couple years. Like this league, it's hard to win. It's very, very, very hard to win. So you're right. Like that's why this felt too. Like the Ravens cruised to the 1 seed. They had Mahomes in their house, held him to 17, and then would have went on to play the Super Bowl, as Javon reminded us time and time again, against either team that they smoked in the regular season. Like, not to say that was going to happen again, but this was the year to do it. And like you just said, in your own division, this was your own year to do it because you got Joe Burrow coming back next year, and you know he's coming back hungry.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that this is a Raven team that's going to be good. Like they are going to be good. It depends on everyone stays. Yeah. I mean, you saw like the linebacker, he was like, I don't know. I got to think on it if I want to come back. Like this is, I mean, they brought out everyone possible. I mean, Ray Lewis, Suggs, Ed Reed, like they brought, we need this. Like we need this as a fan base. We did everything we can. Please get it done. And to only put up 10 is ridiculous. Like that shit is just shitty. Like Lamar, you got to do better. I'm still holding Lamar accountable, but also the play calling was just out of this world. I think it also didn't go to, I mean, think about it. If Zay Flowers scores, that's game. Like, you know what I mean? Like that they win the game. Strictly, not to say like Patrick Mahomes doesn't do what he does, but let's just say they don't, like they win that game and it's over. Like, you know what I mean? If he just scores, you know, you're that close. You're that close to being in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like that one mistake to be in the Super Bowl and like you just couldn't get done. I mean, again, like you said, people have been spoiled in today's times by thinking that the Brady and Mahomes era is normal. Like that's not normal, bro. People don't do this. Like Patrick Mahomes had the, I mean, it's so crazy the comparison. We're lucky we had a comparison to Brady because Brady was always getting, the Patriots are out of it. They suck this year. Brady's not having it, and he's back in Super Bowl. He wins a fucking Super Bowl. It's like the same thing. It's the same script again. Like professionals, they figured the fuck out and get back into that game. But I wanted to speak on the Taylor Swift thing. So I've never been a guy who was like annoyed. We haven't talked about it at all. Like we just been like whatever, skim by it. But I've never been the guy who was annoyed by like when they show Taylor Swift. But now at the point where I'm like, what the fuck, bro? It's like it's getting to that point where it's ridiculous. But now I understand why. I understand why that the NFL is doing it. Once I saw the stats of like she damn near made the NFL like $500 million. Like $500 million she's bought in the NFL. I get it. You keep showing her. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is crazy to see. Now, are you seeing on the conspiracy theories of like Taylor Swift, like they wanted her in the Super Bowl, they want her to be there, and like all this drama that's going on with her?
So To be honest with you, no, I've never been the like, oh, sports are rigged, the NFL's rigged, really until the Niners game happened. Because again, we'll get there. Like
That
how
shit's
the
rigged.
Niners game happened started making me be like, maybe.
Yeah,
Um, Look, the Taylor Swift thing is annoying to me too. Again, I don't dislike her as a person. I get what the NFL is doing,
I do.
but like
Yeah,
it's annoying to go on Instagram like after Championship Sunday and the first post I see from the NFL is Taylor
uh,
Swift.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
nothing about the Niners, nothing about the
yeah,
Chiefs, like not even Mahomes or it's Taylor Swift.
yeah, yeah,
And like that part to me is really fucking annoying. I don't
yeah.
know. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument that they wanted Taylor Swift there. I heard they tried to get her to be the Super Bowl halftime performer, but I guess it
Exactly,
didn't
exactly.
align with her tour that she's got going on. But yeah, I mean, that's why I said before to one of my buddies this weekend, like, do you know how many people are going to tune in to the Super Bowl? How many people who don't watch football tune into the Super Bowl? Number one,
Yeah,
can you and may not have tuned into the Super Bowl, but are probably Taylor Swift fans and now
yeah,
will tune into the Super Bowl?
yeah,
Like, what are the odds that you can find anyone in the world right now that is both not a fan of football and not a fan of Taylor Swift?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
It's
you're gonna
fact.
have to have one. So I don't fucking know. I mean, it's an argument if you wanted to say it
Yes.
because
So
it would make sense.
I believe the conspiracy for sure, but her tour, she's in Tokyo. So
Yeah,
she'll
the day
be in
before.
Tokyo the day before. So she has to get on a plane like right away and she'll get in. Luckily, like the time difference, she'll get in like 13 hours before the
Hmm.
fucking game starts. So just so you know, Super Bowl prep talk will have nothing to do with the players. It will all have to do like they might have a fucking helicopter flying over to be like,
Oh yeah.
she's boarding the plane, she's on her
Yeah.
way. She fucking landed in fucking Vegas. She's in this hotel room. She's making her like it's just gonna be all that, and it's gonna fucking blow my mind to have to watch Super Bowl doing that.
Hmm.
But hey, hats off to Travis Kelce. Hats off. What's gonna
Yeah.
piss me off is if in like 3 months they break up and some bullshit. I'm like, are you like this was just blatant as fuck? Like this was just
Exactly.
for publicity. Like that's the bullshit that like makes people so angry. Like that's fucked up.
Exactly.
That's
I
what I hate.
do think of this is kind of like with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey. My prediction: if the Chiefs win, you're going to have both Kelsey brothers retire at the same time.
Oh,
I think
I've been hearing that go around.
Travis goes off into the sunset. They'll do it on their podcast. Jason Kelsey, we already know like he's been leaning that way. There's been rumors that he already is.
Yeah.
I think Travis would follow him if they win again.
Ooh. I just think Travis has so much still left in him, bro. Like he
I
had
do
a
too.
his
I do
body's
too.
banged up, but like him, I think Patrick could bring him back for a couple more years.
He might.
Because if
might.
Gronk could stay, if crazy as Gronk could stay with Brady, I don't see a problem with Travis, who's a little bit more level headed, staying with Patrick if they get one. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But also, you got to think like Gronk didn't have the number one sports podcast in the world and dating the number one pop star in the world. Like,
That's true. That's
fuck,
true.
Travis, I got what would that be? 3 for him?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it. I get it. I get it. So now they're saying Patrick Mahomes might, in a short period of time, he's gonna beat he's on his way to beat Brady in a
he's on
short
his way,
amount
yeah.
of time. In a short amount of time, bro. And that's what would this be for him? 2-3, right?
This would be
Three.
it would be he would be 3-1 in the Super Bowls.
So, but he's been a 4. It's fucking
Which
crazy.
now here's the question though, because somebody said this is similar to kind of like the Jordan and LeBron debate. Like you can debate all you want. Will the Brady Mahomes debate ever really be one? Because let's just say Mahomes wins like fucking 10, right?
Yeah.
Like let's just say he wins the next 5.
Yeah.
You could still make the argument like, no. Like Brady's still the GOAT because Brady beat him in the AFC championship games. He beat him. He's the only loss he has in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
have that head to head where it's like, I'm sure some people are going to be like, look, Mahomes can win 30 rings if he wanted to. Can never beat Brady.
Yeah, no, that to me that doesn't equate into football because Brady doesn't play both ways. You get that argument when you go into Jordan's bag of like Jordan's won defensive player of the year. Jordan has had this many rings. Jordan did a dope, like you know what I mean? Like
Different
they
teams
both,
though.
huh?
Brady did it with different teams though. Brady did it with.
That's true. That's a fact. That's a fact. I just think that,
But
yeah, I just think that
either way,
argument's
you're right.
going
He's
away.
on his way. Like he's.
Yeah.
I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. But speaking of incredible, let's speak about an incredible choke job by the
my
Lions versus 49ers. I mean, I'm getting so sick and tired of 49ers fans. You guys are so fucking spoiled and annoying. Like I think I hate that shit more than I hate the Bang Bang Niner gang, fucking
Oh my
Bird gang. I'm just I hate the Niners, bro. I really do hate them as much as I hate the Eagles. Like it's up there for me. Like Eagles, Bills, them. Like I just hate the fan base as well. They're so
Yeah.
spoiled. How was Sabrina feeling? Like I know she was probably quiet as fuck the first quarter.
Yep. Quiet as fuck in the first half. It was almost one of those things where she was just like, yeah, like this is what we do. Like, she's the Phillies fan, she's the Sixers fan. She's like, our teams just lose. Like they just fucking blow it.
She got into it. She
And
adapted.
yeah, yeah. And I was sitting there and trying my best not to be like fucking pumped. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, you
I'll
never
let her
know.
have it.
You never know. And coming from like, because I hate the Niners as well. Like, and their
Yeah.
fans, especially on Twitter, like all I'm seeing now is Twitter is they're trying to claim they've been underdogs in every playoff game. Like I don't like their fans are just
Really?
like some of them are just like stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, you never know, and like the hate for the Niners. Like I think I even texted you guys, but still being like that third party watching the game. As soon as Jahmyr Gibbs fumbled the ball, Niners were still down touchdown. I was like, that's it. Niners
Yeah.
won. Like
Yeah.
this game, you could tell the Lions are totally fucking out of it. And look, the biggest story of this game, other than the Niners, like we'll touch on the Niners, but I first want to touch on the Lions, and I have my thoughts on their aggressiveness during the course of that second half. I'll touch on what I think, but when it comes to the decisions that Dan Campbell made, passing up on two separate field goals in that second half, especially the last one to tie the game, like what are your thoughts on that? Like this is one of the biggest collapses we've ever seen in playoffs.
Yeah, so the first one he got, right? I think it was a fourth down, like a 4th and 2, 4th and 1, whatever. He picked it up, right? So that was Dan Campbell already saying, like, I'm being aggressive in every moment here, right? In that setting, his aggressiveness is what got them here, right? Let's just be honest. Like his aggression has got them here. In that game, you take the points. It's not easy to score
Yep,
in these games. You take those points. Now it's easy to say that afterwards when I was agreeing when I don't know who was like commentating. Was it Tony Romo? I don't know if it was Tony Romo. I think it was
It
Tony
was
Romo.
Greg Olson.
Grosson. I think he was saying, kick it. I would kick it here, man.
Yep.
Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, he's going for it. Like, I would have fucking kicked it because I want the points. I mean, the score's tied up now, right? Like, no. They would have been ahead at that
would
point.
have been. At the last one, the Niners were up 3. So the kick would have tied it.
Okay.
But
It would have.
then you had the one where Niners came out, start second half, kicked the field goal. They're down 14. Lions could have kicked it to go back up 17.
Yeah.
Went for it though, didn't get it. Niners went down, scored, and then that's how it happened.
Yeah. I think you go for that kick. I get it. I get wanting to be that guy, but I told you at some point I was like, Big D, like it's gonna hit him at some point, and it caught him at the wrong moment. And he's right. He said it plain as day. Like we gotta get back here, and it's gonna be hard to do, but we'll get back here. He knows he's a player's coach. He knows that mistake is something he's gonna have to live with now. Like he knows it's a mistake because and the players I'm sure like, fuck me, bro. Like, fuck, why didn't we kick that ball? Like, it's easy to say that now, but in the moment, I would have kicked it too, bro. I would have took the 3 and said, you can't put it on me, at least as a coach. I kicked the 3. No. My defense, let's go out there and stop them again. Like, I'll do it that way. I won't throw my defense right back on the field with no points. So,
well, here's my thing. So, because what you said is completely true. Him being aggressive like that is the reason they're here.
Yeah.
But there's 2 things that I look at with a coach being aggressive like that. Number 1, be consistent in anything you do, right? This is what I said about the refs. Remember last year we talked about Super Bowl. Like, if you're going to be bad, just be consistent. That's all you want. My problem with it was you weren't consistent, Dan Campbell. Let's take it back to the end of the first half. 21-7. Lions had a 4th and goal at like the 4-yard line, and they kicked the field goal to go up 24-7 at the half. Now, that's fine. I would have done the same thing. Take the points, go up 17 on the road. The Niners are getting the ball back. Yeah, but if this is what you do, you're 4 yards away from going up 21 points on the road. This is the time to go for it. You're not giving the Niners the ball back. This is the last play of the half. So you need to be consistent. Either be consistent with kicking the field goal and taking the points, which is what you should have done, or if you're going to be that aggressive guy, go for it on 4th and goal at the 4. But it's also situational awareness in being aggressive as well. Malik, this is not week 8. This is not week 15. This is you're 1 win away from a fucking Super Bowl. And you see how fast things can change in the game of football, especially when you're on the road in the NFC Championship game. Like, when the Niners went and kicked the field goal, made it 24-10. I get what you're trying to do. Go for it. You're thinking if you get the touchdown, you really kind of end the game at that point.
Yeah.
Again, take the field, go up 3 possessions, continue to put that pressure on the Niners, because the worst case is a lot worse than what the best case is, right?
Yeah.
The best case, okay, you score a touchdown, you're up 3 scores. Worst case is what exactly happened. You don't get it. Niners go down and score. Now you're fucked. Now you're completely fucked. Now you got everyone on your sideline second guessing everything.
Yeah.
And then to not kick the field goal to tie the game in the fourth quarter, fuck, I get like that. I can see a little bit is maybe he's like, our defense hasn't stopped them all second half. We need to score a touchdown because if I just kick this field goal to tie it, they're going to go right down and take the lead again. It just depends on whether it's 7 or 3, I guess. But again, man, like,
but that doesn't fall on you. That doesn't fall on you, though. That falls on your team. Step up, stop them, get it stopped, and let's get back. Put it all on them.
Yeah, exactly. And just to not even attempt it. Like they weren't long field goals, and it's not like the kicker had missed one earlier. Like the logic was, you know what? No, we're just going to be aggressive. And to have both of those be like 4th and 2, and you have 2 running backs who it seemed like Malik. Did it not seem like they were picking up like 15 yards of fucking carry?
Yeah.
And both times you call fucking pass plays, and the second one was done from the start. Like the Niners got the pressure, they pinned their ears back. That's what they do. You got 2 yards to give. You got 2 phenomenal running backs and an offensive line that's been dominating the Niners front. So not only was the call to go for it bad, the play call was bad.
What's sad is that watching that game, I texted you guys. I said, yo, bro, this is a Lions team that could beat the Chiefs right away. I was like, this is a Lions team that could honestly beat the Chiefs. Because when we flip the script, we look at the 49ers, not for nothing. The 49ers didn't play their best defense. Like, I didn't see too much coming from that defensive side. Bosa had a sack, but Bosa was gone the whole night. Warner didn't play his best game. So right away, I was like, they can fight. They're moving the ball like this. They're actually, like, we argued last week. I was like, I really want to see the Lions in Super Bowl. You're right. I was like, fuck. Yeah. These guys are moving the ball. They're getting the job done. I would love to see. I wouldn't mind seeing it now, but now you go and you look at the 49ers, you say, is Brock Purdy for real? You have to start acknowledging it. Is he real, Liam?
Yeah,
is he a real guy? Is he really here?
So
is he him?
I will say this all season long. One of the thing I continue to say was if you get up on the Niners, they're done. Right?
Yeah, that's the
they
first
proved
time.
me wrong. They definitely proved me wrong. The Packers game was similar to that. It never really felt like the Packers had the opportunity to step on their throats. The Lions kind of did.
I know Kyle Shanahan is like, thank you God it wasn't me. Like he's just looked at like, thank you God, like I was on the opposite side of this. Like, you know what I mean?
Look, I'll say this: Brock Purdy, to what we've said he was, he's clearly better than that. Now, elite wise, like no, let's. I'm not going to go into those conversations yet.
Okay,
but to do what he did, like they needed every bit of what he did to win that game. Make no mistake about it. In the air, with his legs.
I said with his legs is more important than in the air.
Yep. Definitely. And that's what good quarterbacks do. Like they can win in multiple different ways. Now, again, you have the one deep ball that Ayuk somehow caught off the Lions defender's helmet. That should have been intercepted. And now we're looking at a game where it's 24-10. He just threw a big pick at the end of the third quarter. Like that ends the game.
Very true.
Like let's be real. Like, that ends the game. And we're having a different conversation. So a little luck mixed into it as well.
That's
but
true.
It's hard for me to sit here and say after that game, like, no, he still can't do it. He still can't do it.
Yeah.
He has. He did it.
Yeah.
He did it on the biggest moment. It sucks for me to say. But now he's going up against one of the GOATs. And look, man, the Chiefs have won in a different way. I know, like, we'll talk about the Super Bowl next week, but as a brief, like, look ahead, Pacheco runs the ball fucking hard as shit. Niners cannot stop the run. Like, they can't. They haven't against the Packers. They didn't against the Lions. And you're looking at Jared Goff was walking up and down the field in the first half. I get the Chiefs don't maybe not have the weapons on the outside like the Lions do. But you don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to carve up that Niners D like Goff did?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And again, we go back to Purdy's going to be seeing a completely different defense. The one knock on both the Lions and the Packers was the defensive side of the ball. That's the Chiefs' strength this year. Like they are a top 3 defense.
The defensive line is crazy.
It's crazy. So we're going to see. It should be a good one. But as for right now, like, Brock Purdy definitely, like, they needed every bit of Brock Purdy to win that game.
This is the thing. I don't think Brock Purdy can get it done. We'll talk about Super Bowl later, but I don't think he has enough in the tank. He has to do. I mean, this game showed me how important Debo is. Like Debo really is that guy. Like he definitely is that guy. He's not just a trash talker. Like what's called Gardner for waving the fans away and having to
I
announce like
know.
that's
What an idiot.
and Debo's like, yo, checking on your boy. Is he good? Like
Yeah.
he's a savage, bro. He backs it up. He backed it up
does.
with you guys. He backed it up with that. Like he backs up his play. You gotta respect it. Christian McCaffrey, dog, bro. Like he has a concussion right now, and he's a dog, bro. He definitely has a concussion. He got slammed on his fucking neck.
Yeah,
And he's like, give me one play. Like you're fucking done. Like you're lucky there's a week in between Super Bowl, bro. And he's blessed with that. But like another dog. This is gonna be a game that comes down to the best quarterback. I don't even argue that one. Which tight end has a better game? That's truthfully what's gonna come down to too. George Kittle had an amazing fucking game. Travis Kelce had a fucking great game. Let's see what tight end has the greatest game. I think that's the team that wins. Which one of those guys has a great game, that's who comes away with victory on Sunday night.
Yeah. Well, and back to Brock Purdy, that is interesting because it is two of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
Like going back to Brock Purdy, Debo, and McCaffrey, that's where you get me with Purdy, right? Like that's where I'll never fully like give it to you. When Debo was hurt against the Packers, that offense was nothing. And like just take one of them off. Like say McCaffrey gets hurt, say Debo gets hurt, they're done. They are fucking done. And again, that's where you get me with Purdy because like that's why I can't put him in like the top 10 or maybe even top 12 yet because everything needs to be perfect. Like it needed to be 70 and sunny, all of his offensive weapons out there for him. Kyle Shanahan. Like, look, the Packers game, it was sloppy. It was a little rainy. Debo was out. Like he looked horrible. And, they came up with enough plays to win the game. Like this one was a little different. And again, that might win the Super Bowl. Like to be real, like he may not fucking McCaffrey and Debo should be fine. Like they'll be ready to roll. Like it's going to be in Vegas in the dome. Like the weather's going to be perfect, but I don't know. I think if you kind of compare a defense to the Chiefs that Brock Purdy has seen, probably the Ravens, and he threw 4 or 5 picks at home. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
I think this team could put him on his ass, and we'll talk about it next week. But like, yo, Chiefs, heal up. That defense was pretty banged up.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's his name? Is it Chris Johnson? Or I forget his name. Defensive lineman.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. He was fucking eating and he was hurt. Like every time, like he went down 4 times. Like he was banged up and still was eating, bro. Let's see what the fuck happened. I mean, you got Trent Richardson out there. So just know.
He's another one. Chris Jones is another one too that like you could forget he's playing for the first half, but when he needs to flip the switch, he's the only one you see. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And there's a dude from Trenton that's actually playing the Super Bowl. I forget what team he plays for, but I saw on Facebook. I think he plays for the Niners. That he's actually playing the Super Bowl. So shout out to him too. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually excited for Super Bowl, bro. I'm not mad at it. I am excited.
I am mad. Like this is the worst possible like matchup for Eagles fans. Like I don't. I really don't.
Do you want it for Sabrina or it's fuck it? You guys are so spoiled.
I'll be rooting for Mahomes.
Oh, that's so fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. Shawty's at home a Niners fan. You're rooting against a guy who fucking, and that's even worse, that fucked you up.
It's what?
A guy that beat you in the Super Bowl.
I know. I just can't. Like I said, the Niners team is like they're all corny. Like their fan base is all corny. I just can't. Like I can't stand them. And at least with Mahomes, like yeah, it sucks. He beat us in the Super Bowl, but that's kind of like with Brady. You just have to respect what you're watching.
Okay.
Like you're watching greatness. So
no, you just want to cement it as he's a GOAT. That's why we like it's the GOAT. Like, what do you want me to say? Like it just adds to your what do you want me to say? He's
from last year. Yeah.
That's all it does for you. All right, bro. Let's get right. Let's end it with this last topic, the horns down. So recently there's been a lot of
carefully.
Yeah, I know, right? The H word. I'm sorry. H word. So
don't do the jester on here. We'll get canceled.
Bro, I mean, the whole and mind you, I grew up a Texas fan. I gotta get my boy who's a Texas fan too. But the fact that the basketball team a couple weeks ago, the players, I forget which team they lost to, did the horns down as they shook hands. The coach flips out, right? What was it, a couple nights ago, whatever, last night, BYU is playing Texas, and in the stands, the students have horns down, and we're asked to take the shirts off. Yep. What are we doing? What have we come to that the horns down has turned into a racial slur that you
I don't
just
know.
can't say? I mean, damn, didn't they say like, oh yeah, it was Alabama, Texas. If you do the horns down, it's a flag, it's a penalty.
Yeah. Yep.
What? So guys can just chomp all day?
Yep.
So you can chomp, but you can't put. What the fuck are we doing? What does it come to that you can't do a horns down, but you can chomp away? Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. It's one of these things that it almost feels like we're on like a skit show. Like it's almost like
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live, like making fun of this situation where it's like, oh, ha ha, Texas loves the horns up and hates the horns down. Like it is so funny. Like who initiated this? Because you're right, it's been going on for I want to say 2 or 3 years now,
Yeah.
maybe more. But like, who was the first to say something about it? Why are people so upset about it? Is there something more to this that we're missing? There, I feels like there almost has to be because other than that, like you can't tell me these players and coaches aren't hearing worse from these fans
Thank
in
you.
any sport, in any college. Like, what the fuck are you getting so upset about a horns down? Like, this is what makes college sports so great.
Yes.
These rivalries, these like big fuck yous that the fans and the players have. Like, you almost don't get rivalries like this in professional sports. Like, you get that in college, and this is the
Yeah.
reason. So why you're trying to diminish the horns down, which in reality is kind of just like a fuck Texas, which I'm guaranteeing you're seeing all around, and people are saying all around, but like, oh no, that's okay. You just can't do horns down, which means absolutely fucking nothing at all.
Yeah. Like it's to the point that it's like, guys, the fucking Missouri kicker, it was Missouri, right? The fat ass kicker for Missouri kicks a game winning field goal. It runs on the field doing a chomp.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he can't fucking do horns down. Like if it was against Texas, if I was
No.
Texas guys, you win, you double down. You go like, yeah, horns down. Let's bring this shit back. Like you play into it. Like who has that much power to go up and say you can't say that word no more? It's a flag. It's a penalty. It's what like who has that power to go and make that a call? Like it was like when you watch Last Chance U, and they were like, all the players, if you say the N word, you kicked out of the game. How the fuck? Who are you to have the power to say I can't say the fucking N word on the field? Like that's one of the great clip by Brown. He was like, "How do you know which player said the N word? Like you know his voice?" And I was like, "He's like, what are we talking about here? Like this? They say this in every sentence. It's like saying like I can't say like what? Like what?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So I don't get why that's a thing. We gotta figure out if there's more into it, like you said, or who has the power to say it's a penalty because if you do horns down, remove the shirt. I mean, it is BYU, so I understand a little bit like it's a little soft there or whatever like that. But still, like, that's ridiculous.
It is. It is. Look, man, it's that Texas money. You know they're paying off whoever they need to pay off to be like, no, please don't do this. Please don't do this. But I don't know, man. This is just like when people talk about like this generation being soft, look no further because you can't even fucking play in a competitive sport and do a motion to say fuck you to your opponent. They don't play.
I've heard worse in a college football. I mean, in a high school football game.
Hey,
Like,
that's what I mean. What the fuck are we doing? You're telling me that those same drunk college football fans aren't saying worse than what a horns down could do?
Yeah,
they're not saying worse.
Like
we don't care about that.
I've heard way worse. I've done way worse in football field in high school. So it's ridiculous. But hey, let's get to. Make sure you guys check out next week. Next week we'll have the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll have some guests on who are 49ers. You gotta bring Sabrina on.
Yeah.
We gotta have Sabrina on. I don't know any KC fans. But hey, we gotta give our predictions for next week. Any last words, brother?
We should go. We should go to the KC bar.
The bar? Yeah, they won't let us in. I'm surprised. I wonder if he's gonna be even open this time, dude. They're so fucking lucky, bro. I fucking hate fan bases that get to the Super Bowl all the fucking time, bro. Oh my god.
Can you imagine being a Chiefs fan, just like having you have Patrick Mahomes?
But you've went through like, all right, if you look back, they went through so much until this point. But I wouldn't mind going through so much and then getting to this point. You know what I mean? Like Portnoy was like, they're like, would you get rid of like everything if you don't win nothing ever again? And he was like, fuck no. I would keep if I don't win for the rest of my life, that run was at the perfect time of my life. I would take that run any fucking day. Like it comes at the perfect time.
Exactly. It's almost like with the Eagles Super Bowl. Like if you were to ask me if I would trade that in, like if you were going to threaten to take that memory away from me, and if you didn't, like the Eagles would be terrible for the next 10 years. I'd be like, no, fuck the next 10 years. Like getting that one championship, that one run was just fucking incredible.
No,
so like
How about this? Get rid of that one. It didn't happen, but you have the potential to win one in the next 20 years. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
No.
So you'll go 20 years without winning one for sure.
20? I
Having
need the
the
guaranteed one, and I need how it happened. Like you look, I mean, the runs that like Nick Foles, like the Philly special, beating Brady, beating Belichick, like in that game. I couldn't.
That's true. That plays a lot into it. Yeah. So if my Cowboys, just give me one in my lifetime. I'm good to go, bro. Just give me one, bro. Just give me one. I'll be good
As long
to go.
as Jerry's there.
Jerry's world, baby. Jerry's world. But hey guys, I appreciate the support. Make sure you go subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Check out the new episodes and new clips that we just dropped. We also have Trust the Gym. That's a part of us as well as part of the In Those We Trust network. So that's all there. Make sure you listen to us on Apple Music, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify. Follow us on Instagram at WeTrust_podcast, and follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Appreciate you guys. Trust up.
All right. Thanks, Lee.